Alright, so this is literally a few minute recap on just exactly what we're going to be doing when we go into our Macbeth exam and we come to do our Macbeth question. You've done your revision, you know your quotes, you've done your prep, but this last few minutes, this is about how your essay actually looks on the page, the steps you need to take when you get the question to make sure that all your banging ideas and banging points, you get the marks you deserve for them. So, Macbeth, they will give you a little extract. They'll give you a nice question like we've got here at the top here. How does Shakespeare present Lady Macbeth as an untraditional Jacobean woman? And they'll give you a little extract. Now, the way I would go about this is this, okay? And this is step one. Step one is when you read that question, you need to be thinking about what your argument is. You can't go into a literature exam and just start going, oh yeah, Lady Macbeth is the wife of Macbeth, and here is a quote, and this is what I know about her, and here is another quote, and here's what I know about her. Mate, you got to go in with an argument. You are in competition with 600,000 other year 11s. You've got to make yours stand out. You've got to make yours have a clear point of view. Think how many students across the country are going to go in and say how nasty Lady Macbeth is, for example, how power hungry she is, how she corrupts Macbeth and makes him a worse version of himself than he was at the start. Well, mate, I'm going to make sure my argument stands me out from the crowd. I'm going to argue no, she's desperate to be free from feminine limits because she wants to fulfill the expectation of a Jacobean woman. She's meant to be supporting her husband, so therefore her methods are really unorthodox, really alien and strange to us, but her principles and the intentions behind them are very traditional. Now, I will show my examiner straight away that they don't need to look at the bottom half of their mark scheme. I'm a student with a point of view. I've got an argument. I've got something I want to say about this character and something I want to say about this theme. And now all of the points in my essay are going to feed into that central argument that I am making. Once I've got my argument, the next thing I'm going to do is my timeline plan. Now, my timeline plan, and I would do this even in my exam, I draw a line across the paper and I'm going to go in chronological order. I need 4 quotes that I'm going to use for that question. So my question here is about presenting the theme of masculinity in the play. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 quotes that show the development of masculinity across the play. I've got to go in chronological order because I'm never ever going to hit the marks I need to show about how something develops across a text. So for example, if it's going in masculinity, Macbeth's modelling of masculinity when he's killing Norwegians and he's doing it with great valour and dignity and respect and admiration, well, that's very different to the masculinity by the middle when he is asking the supernatural, the ghost of Banquo to appear as a bear. He is at his desperation and therefore his application of the masculine expectations of the time changes as we move through the text. If you don't show that, you're not going to get the top marks. So use your chronological order timeline plan. At least one of those quotes needs to come from the extract that the examiner has given you. You could do 2 or 3 if you wanted, and one from your head, but I recommend just the one because you're going to show, you're going to use the quotes that you've been working on to show the development across the rest of the text. Then underneath, and this is particularly key now in part of your revision, your preparation, you're going to put the key points you would want to make. And I've listed at the bottom there all of the skills, all of the things the examiner is looking for. Now, that's a lot of stuff. I've done it all for you. If you go type in any of these, type in Mr. Kirby and any of the characters and any of the themes that I've listed on here, I've got timeline plan ready to go for all of them. A central argument, the 4 quotes I would use, and I've colour coded the analysis so you can see exactly how it hit all those elements. Folks, in a nice possible way, the question is only going to be so many different variations of the things that are on the screen here. So if you can be prepared for those, there's nothing there that can scare you. So once I've done my plan, and once I've got something from the extracts within it, and once I've got my argument, I'm now ready to start writing. My introduction has got to, as an absolute minimum, establish that central argument. I would go in and I would show an understanding of the question. Shakespeare presents masculinity as a theme that varies depending on the character and situation. My blue bit is almost like my thesis, my summation. That's all the points I'm going to make as I move through my essay. And there is where you show your examiner how you understand that something changes from the start to the end. And then the end of my introduction to the green bit, that is the most important bit, your central argument. Even if the red and blue bit doesn't happen, the green bit must if you have any intention of getting anything higher than grade 3s and 4s. And then we're on to our analysis. You want to be aiming for 4 proper paragraphs, 4 quotes, 4 proper paragraphs. Now, as you'll see, and I've color coded it here, I've made sure I've hit all the things the examiner wants to include. Now, I remember those by thinking of what I like in burgers, okay? Because in my burger, I'm going to include lettuce, nachos, cheese, a patty, and mayonnaise. So that spells my letters: inference, language methods, non-language, context purpose, multiple interpretations. I'll be the first to admit that's not a very good way of remembering it, and you might want to come up with your own. But those 6 things, those are what the examiner wants to see. So you've got to get into your head that you're basically doing your cell paragraphs. So your statement about the argument, your evidence, and then layer, 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 layer. But you've got to, over the course of your essay, show all of those different things as you move through. Now, 2 things on that. Number 1, you're not going to put them all in every single time, and I don't want you to. 1, because you'll run out of time, and 2, because not every quote has got all of those that can nicely attach to it. So don't try and squeeze things in where it doesn't exist. But number 2, when you get to a quote like we've got here, dearest partner, greatness, or you're out damn spot or whatever, and you've got a quote that you can absolutely smash the bejesus out of all the different things you want to say about it, let the examiner have it. You can't be magnificent every moment of your exam, but when you do have those opportunities, you absolutely hammer home the gains, okay? So, in summation, really, what you were looking for in your Macbeth exam, you want a nice conceptualised introduction, you want to refer to the whole play, and you want to show the chronological development. You do all of that through the timeline plan, and I can't stress how powerful and useful that is as a tool to make sure you hit all the things the examiner wants you to. And then, in every paragraph, state Shakespeare's presentation of our theme or character at that point, with evidence. Use the rich quotes that you've been working on in a lesson or you've been taking from the videos, and then you're layering up your inference, your language, your non-language, your context, and your purpose. And then across those, you've got your multiple interpretations of those. The top student, it reads like a discussion with themselves. So you want to go into that exam and discuss on your onesie exactly what Shakespeare is telling us through these themes or these characters.